Who are some wide receivers that are flying under the radar that you need to pay attention to? Let's talk about it. And let's start with a guy that probably got too much attention before the 2022 draft season, was not worth picking at all. But now, maybe now, finally, we should pay attention to Kadarius Toney.
I think we need to. He's starting to come along here in this KC offense, starting to carve out a role. And even though he plays limited snaps, doesn't run a lot of routes, when he's on the field, they find ways to get him the ball, whether it's through the air, running the ball. And you got to think, if he can get through an entire offseason healthy, he's going to be a much bigger part of this offense. Juju Smith-Schuster, a free agent, signed that one-year deal. Maybe he'll be back, maybe not. Marquez Valdez-Scantling just isn't it. McCole Hardman, not really it. Sky Moore, unfortunately, doesn't look like he's it. There's a definite path here for Kadarius Toney to step into a big role in a Patrick Mahomes offense. I didn't draft Toney at all when he was a rookie. I didn't draft him at all last year. But I am definitely going to be taking shots on Kadarius Toney this year because the upside is just too great, assuming he can actually stay healthy.
There's that. Kadarius Toney doesn't need to really be out there all game long. I mean, it'd be nice that he's out there every game, every week. People might say, well, he's not a guy who's out there for a ton of snaps. When he is out there, he's getting targeted. We had somebody post this interesting stat in our Discord just the other day. Out of 77 routes that he has run while in Kansas City, he's been targeted 24 times. That is actually an insanely high clip. It's up there among the elite receivers in the league. Of course, he doesn't run as many routes. He's not on the field as much. He's going to be targeted. They could go after a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, or maybe another big name. Good. Let them. Let somebody else get all the shine and the limelight here and still see Kadarius Toney as one of the primary targets in this KC offense. That will just depress his draft price and you can get him at an even better bargain. Someone who's definitely going to be under the radar because he's still stuck in Houston. Nico Collins is a talented receiver, and this could be the year because he might finally get a good quarterback.
Let's hope. All signs are pointing to Houston getting a QB upgrade because they have the number 2 pick. And unless they blow it, which it's Houston, they could, they're probably going to draft a quarterback there. Brandon Cooks almost certainly won't be back next year. They really have no other wide receivers. I mean, John Mechie, sure, but he's coming back from leukemia. Didn't play a snap last year. Nico Collins started to show, signs last year, especially in games that Brandon Cooks didn't play. He really showed signs that he could be the guy. And that was with Davis Mills. Don't sleep on Nico Collins. He's entering that prime third-year wide receiver. Looked enough like the part last year to be a guy. No, he's never probably going to be an elite wide receiver 1 or maybe even a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. But I think he could be a weekly wide receiver 3 with some upside, with an improved quarterback situation. Obviously, this could change after the draft if Houston blows it, but assuming they don't, really like Nico Collins heading into the next year.
And I really liked Nico Collins as a sleeper heading into the 2022 season, but that's because I actually thought Houston's offense wouldn't be as bad as the year before. I thought they might actually take a step forward, new coaching staff, maybe Davis Mills will be a little bit better. That didn't happen. This is where we could see a year 3 breakout. They'll have some sort of upgrade, possibly a massive upgrade if they get an elite rookie quarterback, somebody who's ready to step in and take command. Nico Collins, definitely some untapped potential here. We'll see how it all shakes out, but definitely a guy to keep on your radar. Before we get into the rest of our wide receivers, quick word from our partner Manscaped. Manscaped now sells beard products. That is right. Once again, revolutionizing men's grooming with a brand new beard hedger. Chris, as a man with a beard, why don't you give your thoughts?
Yeah, so last week I talked about kind of the performance, but today I wanted to show this product because I really do feel Manscaped goes above and beyond with what they give you. Not only do you get this great trimmer here, which is heavy duty and works great, but look at all the amazing stuff you get with the trimmer. I mean, they give you everything you need here. You got beard oil, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard balm. Plus you got this great case for your trimmer, a brush, everything you could possibly need to trim your beard. And not to mention, it's a great product. It works amazing. So highly recommend all of the Manscaped products I've used so far, but especially the beard hedger.
Yeah, and that's one thing you've noticed. Look, we had several people, of course, from our community who have bought in and supported us and Manscaped ordering these products. One thing is that the packaging is amazing and all the extras, all these little things. You don't just get a product. It's the full package, all the little details. So look, if you want to get in on this, 20% off and free shipping worldwide if you use promo code ENDGAME. That's right, 20% off. Go to manscaped.com and use code ENDGAME. The Beard Hedger is changing the game. One stroke, one guard, 20 lengths. Now our next receiver, also a guy who showed some promise this season, did take a step forward, but maybe this next year we see a full out breakout from Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I think it's a possibility. Showed signs with Deshaun Watson, but more encouragingly, Deshaun Watson showed signs that he still is at least a good NFL QB. Last couple of games there looked much better, looked much more comfortable. Now he's finally going to get a full offseason with this offense. I really like this Browns offense going into next year. I like Amari Cooper, and I definitely like Peoples-Jones. I feel like he's still being slept on, going in double digits in most of our mock drafts. With the kind of upside he has, the kind of big playability he has in this offense, I'll take a gamble on that every time.
Definitely what you're looking for, a guy who can make plays, who has shown that he can be relied on when targeted frequently. Not just a guy who makes one big play once in a while. Even for a team that didn't pass the ball that much this year, you'd think that would change at least a little bit next year. They'll finally unleash Watson. 839 yards, not too bad for DPJ, and he did get targeted 96 times. If that goes up on a pretty decent offense, I mean, that's definitely fantasy relevant right there. And the last wide receiver is somebody you probably forgot about because, well, he missed the whole second half of the season. Darnell Mooney might just come back and reclaim the wide receiver 1 spot in Chicago. You think Mooney can bounce back to maybe 2021 levels?
I do. Talk about like the Browns offense. I think I'm going to really like the Bears offense next year. Now, it's early. They can still screw this up, but they've got the number 1 pick. They have $100 million of cap space. They have the resources to do what they need to do. Improve this offensive line. Bring in some more playmakers around Justin Fields. We saw what bringing in playmakers did for a guy like Jalen Hurts. Darnell Mooney already there, already a productive wide receiver. What if they go out and get another great wide receiver to take some pressure off him? And now you have 2 guys, kind of like AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, that you got to worry about. Mooney was a guy 2 years ago, over 1,000 yards in only his sophomore year. He was being drafted, as a 4th, 5th rounder last year. Now he's a guy you can get close to double-digit rounds, and really nothing has changed in his situation other than his quarterback's gotten a little bit better. So I think Darnell Mooney, a great value in drafts right now. Go out and get him if you can.
A lot of people were big on him this past season. Let's just be honest. He was a bust for fantasy purposes, and then he got hurt. It was a lost season for him, a wasted draft pick as it turned out. But what's interesting is the whole first half where he was playing, the Bears just weren't throwing it. Do you remember those first few weeks when they basically were passing 10 times a game? They were just handcuffing Fields. They weren't even letting him try to throw the ball. You know that they're going to loosen up a little bit more. There's going to be more targets to go around. Look, sure, the Bears might add a receiver in the offseason. They should. That just serves to make Mooney a better value. He's still a very talented guy in an offense where he's going to be the most trusted target early on. I definitely like the value here. Now that you know which wide receivers we like as sleepers, what about the guys who are set to go off? Check out the receivers who are skyrocketing